Splash! Ethelda Bleeptree Makes Waves of Change by Eliza Boxer. Illustrated by Elizabeth Baddeley. Brooklyn, New York, 1917. Ethelda's whole body hurt. Her arms hung heavy. Sharp pain shot down her legs. Her spine curved from a disease called polio. Walking just a few steps left her weak. Her doctor suggested swimming. How can I swim when I can barely move? She wondered, but she was willing to try anything. Splash! The water held her, lifted her, carried her. In those moments, something inside of her came alive. Her heavy limbs felt light. Her weak muscles felt strong. It felt like flying. It felt like freedom. It felt like home. At rest and at peace with the world is how she described her time in the water. From that place of peace, Ethelda began to find her power. Manhattan Beach, New York, 1919. Ethelda was just 17 years old when she took on the world by taking off her socks. The law said women had to wear socks in the water. Tight, scratchy socks. No thanks, thought Ethelda. If boys can swim without socks, so can I. Splash! Boy, did her bare legs make waves. You're under arrest. A policeman handcuffed her and dragged her right out of the water. Back then, swimsuit police roamed the beaches with measuring sticks to make sure women's bathing suits came down low enough and their socks came up high enough. Ethelda thought policemen should have far more important things to do than to measure her socks. She hoped the news of her arrest would spread far and wide. It did. She hoped it would get women talking. It did. Why did we let our legs sweat in swimming socks? Because that's what we've always done. What kind of reason is that? And why don't men have to wear socks? Good point, but what are we supposed to do about it? Well, for starters, we can take off our socks. And they did. Everywhere. Pools, lakes, beaches. The socks came off and the women dove into their newfound freedom. The police couldn't keep up, so they gave up. Women were finally free to swim sockless, all because of one brave girl who dared to test the waters, a girl who just 2 years earlier didn't even know how to swim. Antwerp, Belgium, 1920. Ethelda, with a curved spine and a competitive spirit, stood still at the start of the race. No American woman had ever won an Olympic gold medal in swimming. In fact, many people didn't believe women belonged in the muddy water where the races were held, especially without socks. But Ethelda didn't mind mud, and she definitely didn't appreciate anyone telling her where she did or did not belong. Splash! When the starting pistol fired off, she dove into the murky muck where the river met the sea. The water held her, lifted her, carried her. In those moments, something inside of her came alive. Her limbs felt light. Her muscles felt strong. It felt like flying. It felt like freedom. It felt like home. The crowd cheered for Ethelda Bleibtree, the first American woman ever to win a gold medal in swimming. But she didn't stop there. A second gold medal, a third, 3 gold medals, and 3 world records. The girl who had barely been able to walk without pain became the first woman in the world to win all of the swimming events in a single Olympics. Back in New York City, Ethelda used her Olympic-sized talent as a coach, but there weren't enough swimming spaces. Splash! No swimming, read the sign at the Central Park Reservoir. The water covered 10 city blocks. She hoped her splash would get public officials talking. It did. What? Who does she think she is? An Olympic champion, actually. But didn't she see the sign? Oh, I believe she did this because of the sign. Maybe we do need more places for people to swim. And construction soon began on New York City's first large public swimming pool. St. Charles Hospital, New York. In the years that followed, Ethilda became a nurse. Her patients were children. Their bodies hurt. Their arms hung heavy. Sharp pain shot down their legs. Their spines curved from a disease called polio. Walking just a few steps left them weak. Ethilda remembered. Ethilda dedicated the rest of her life to helping children believe in their bodies. The water held them, lifted them, carried them. In those moments, something inside of them came alive. Their heavy limbs felt light. Their weak muscles felt strong. It felt like flying. It felt like freedom. It felt like home. For Ethilda, too.